James Holden, a microbiologist at the University of Massachusetts who studies organisms that live in extreme conditions, has been tasked by NASA to try to determine what alien life forms might look like. The scientist believes that the key to the mystery may lie at the bottom of the Earth's oceans, where so-called extremophiles live. Extremophiles are living organisms capable of living and reproducing in extreme environmental conditions. Their name comes from Latin and means loving extreme conditions. But most importantly, according to experts, the habitat of such organisms may be similar to subglacial oceans, which are believed to exist on some moons of the solar system. For example, on Europa, a moon of Jupiter. We believe that Europa may have conditions capable of supporting life, based on data about our own planet, Holden said. So, what might aliens look like? Popular culture has created them for us in the image of green or blue little men. But there is still no consensus in the scientific world about what they really look like. It is believed that everything depends on the conditions on a particular potentially habitable planet. For example, on planets covered by vast oceans, they could be aquatic creatures resembling the inhabitants of the Earth's deep seas. Where there is strong gravity and a dense atmosphere, there may be large, strong, and aggressive creatures. Icy worlds are likely to be inhabited only by bacteria. To survive, they may form giant networks. Europa has long been the center of attention for scientists around the world. Why? For a long time, it was believed that Jupiter's moon was covered with a layer of ice several kilometers thick, until the Galileo spacecraft discovered signs of geysers above the surface of Europa. On December 16, 1997, Galileo approached Europa at a record close distance of 201 kilometers. And in 2012, using the Hubble telescope, astronomers were able to obtain evidence for the first time that water on Europa can erupt onto the surface in the form of peculiar fountains. The images taken by the telescope showed an unusual bright spot in the southern polar region of Europa, which extended 200 kilometers above the surface. Scientific analysis showed that this was apparently a giant fountain of water droplets and vapor, and its source was likely Europa's subglacial ocean. In October 2024, one of the most important space launches took place. Europa Clipper, NASA's interplanetary mission, successfully launched from the Kennedy Space Center. This stellar journey will take several years. The 6-ton space probe, equipped with solar panels spanning 30 meters, is expected to reach Jupiter in 2030. The main scientific program will last 109 days. According to the plan, the spacecraft will fly around Jupiter's moon Europa about 50 times. It should be noted that Europa Clipper is the largest spacecraft NASA has ever built for a planetary mission. Its main goal is to determine whether there is life on Europa in the vast ocean hidden beneath its icy surface. To reach Europa, the probe will use 2 gravitational boosts. The first mission is scheduled for February 2025, during which it will fly past Mars at a distance of 500 to 100 kilometers. In December 2025, Europa Clipper will bid farewell to Earth for the last time, flying past our planet at a distance of about 3,200 kilometers. It is this flyby that will allow the probe to gain enough speed to reach Jupiter and its moons. The probe will reach the gas giant in April 2030, at which point it will use its 24 engines to remain in orbit. In the following months, Europa Clipper will make several flybys of Jupiter's moons, including Ganymede. Flybys of Europa will begin in the spring of 2031 and will take place at a minimum distance of 25 kilometers from the surface. If life on Europa does indeed exist, then, according to Holden, before sending a probe to study it, it is necessary to investigate analogs that survive in extreme conditions on Earth. The first extraterrestrial life forms discovered may be similar to our native hardy microorganisms. We assume that life on Europa, if it exists, may resemble our hydrothermal microbes, says the scientist, who has been collecting samples of microorganisms from the ocean floor since 1988 and studying them in a special laboratory without light or oxygen. Underwater vehicles, both manned and unmanned, are used to study deep sea volcanoes, diving to depths of more than 1.5 kilometers. Then, back on land, a team of scientists studies how various chemical processes affect the physiology of these earthly aliens. For example, although carbon, sulfur, and iron released by terrestrial hydrothermal sources are capable of combining with hydrogen, science still does not fully understand how this happens at the biological level. Holden is confident that studying the chemical processes that form Earth's microorganisms will help us imagine what forms of life might exist on Europa. In principle, one thing is clear. Scienti intend to bring us closer to answering one of the most intriguing questions. Are we alone in the universe?